WTA player says that her fans are even better than Alexandra Eala's Filipino support. Alexandra Eala's popularity has skyrocketed ever since she made it to the semifinals of the Miami Open last year, but that growth has shown no signs of slowing down. In fact, as she continues to establish herself as a mainstay on the WTA Tour, she is almost single-handedly increasing interest in tennis across the entire Philippines. Having enjoyed great sporting success with Manny Pacquiao, Alexandra Eala seems to have already taken the mantle, helping boost the profile of her sport in the process. This year's Australian Open offered a visual and rather startling example of just how popular she has become in seemingly such a short space of time. And yet, one WTA rival has now argued that her fans are even better than the Filipino support that follows Eala wherever she goes. Alexandra Eala told there are better tennis fans than her Filipino support. Speaking after her recent loss to Amanda Anisimova, having enjoyed a fine run to the Australian Open fourth round, Wang Xinyu wanted to thank her fans in her post-match press conference. However, she actually wanted to emphasize just how impressive they were by comparing them directly to Eala and her Filipino following. She claimed, "Yeah, I mean, not just today. This past week I'm feeling like I feel all the love, all the support from them. You know, we're always talking about Eala and how she gets so much support from the Filipinos. But I think if you look at it, I think the Chinese fans, they are even, I would say, honestly, even better. Yeah, I'm going to leave it like there. Also, they are coming to my match and then, because you can tell, like, there are a lot of fans that have been following me for, like, longer periods already. So I really appreciate that. I hope to see them more often." This seems like a curious fight for Wang to pick, particularly after Andy Roddick branded Eala's support at the Australian Open crazy. Alexandra Eala's fans caused the Australian Open to shut down. It feels strange for anyone to compare their support to Eala's, considering how outrageously popular she now is. Even João Fonseca, who boasts the support of all of Brazil, would likely be impressed by just how strong the Filipino cause is. For her opening round match against Alicia Parks, which she lost, huge crowds gathered outside of Court 6, unable to gain entry into the packed-out arena. In fact, many complained about the Australian Open's inability to prepare for such demand, having taught the organizers a lesson on the power of Eala and her fans. The Chinese fans are likely just as vocal as the next set of supporters, but the 20-year-old from the Philippines is one of the most popular players on the entire WTA Tour because of her fan base. In the world of tennis, fans often play a surprisingly powerful role. They are the invisible energy behind every serve, the thunderous applause after every drop shot, and the unwavering support that fuels a player's resilience during the tightest matches. Recently, the global tennis community witnessed an interesting development when a WTA player made headlines for a statement that has stirred both excitement and curiosity. She claimed that her fans are even better than Alexandra Eala's famously passionate Filipino support. Alexandra Eala, the 19-year-old sensation from the Philippines, has captured the hearts of tennis enthusiasts worldwide. Known not only for her skill on the court but also for the fervent backing she receives from her countrymen, Eala has set a high bar when it comes to fan loyalty. Her matches, whether in junior Grand Slams or on the WTA circuit, are often accompanied by a wave of Filipino pride and encouragement, with fans cheering loudly for every point she earns. For another player to make such a bold comparison was bound to raise eyebrows. Yet, in a recent post-match interview, the WTA athlete didn't shy away from sharing her admiration for her own supporters. "I truly feel my fans bring something special to the court. Honestly, I think they are even better than Alexandra Eala's Filipino support," she said with a warm smile. Her statement was not meant as a slight but rather as an expression of deep gratitude. While Eala's fans are known for their sheer numbers and loud chants, this WTA player emphasized the intimacy and personal connection she feels with her supporters. "They know me. They know my game. They know my struggles. They celebrate every milestone, big or small, with me," she added. Indeed, fan culture in tennis varies widely. Some players thrive on overwhelming stadium support, while others draw strength from smaller, more dedicated communities. The WTA player in question seems to belong to the latter category, where loyalty and personal engagement outweigh sheer volume. Social media has only amplified this dynamic. Fans can now follow players' journeys off the court, engage with them directly, and become part of their day-to-day lives. This WTA player frequently posts behind-the-scenes glimpses of her training, travel, and recovery, cultivating a community that feels personally invested in her success. For many athletes, this sense of connection can be more motivating than thousands of strangers cheering from the stands. Eala herself has acknowledged the unique power of her Filipino fanbase. On multiple occasions, she has expressed gratitude for their relentless support, which often fuels her performance in high-stakes tournaments. The WTA player's comment, therefore, indirectly highlights the diversity of fan experiences in tennis. Passion can be measured in volume, intimacy, or a blend of both. Tennis insiders note that fan support can influence outcomes in subtle but significant ways. The boost of confidence, the emotional lift after a long rally, and even the pressure on opponents, all are amplified by enthusiastic spectators. For the WTA player praising her fans, this emotional edge could translate into stronger performances and a deeper sense of purpose on the court. The conversation around fan loyalty also sparks discussions about national versus international support. Eala represents a country where tennis is growing in popularity, and the Filipino community has rallied around her with unmatched dedication. Meanwhile, the WTA players' fanbase may be geographically scattered, yet their collective energy demonstrates how support transcends borders. It is a reminder that fans are not just spectators, they are co-creators of the athletic experience. Interestingly, this comparison between fan bases sheds light on the evolving relationship between players and their supporters. Players increasingly view fans as collaborators rather than passive audiences. The WTA player's statement reflects this modern perspective. It's not about competing for the best fans in the world, but about recognizing the unique qualities that make each group special. Her comment, therefore, is less about rivalry and more about appreciation, a celebration of community in all its forms. For tennis enthusiasts, these insights provide a rare glimpse into the emotional ecosystem of professional sports. Fans influence morale,